And here we go, and welcome to the pre-market rundown for Friday, September 16th, 2022 for TriggerCharts. And we have a lot to talk about because a lot of change is happening right now. I'm Andrew Horowitz. I am one of the co-founders of TriggerCharts and one of the creators of the indicators that you know and love. And we have a pretty big group with us today during the webinar because we are getting towards that time when the I guess the axe is going to drop on the trading app store for TradeStation. And there's a lot I want to talk to you about in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll get back to the regular course of business, which is, of course, all about trading. I have a few names, some stocks, some symbols I want to talk about today as well from a very interesting standpoint. I want to really talk to you from the rawest of information for education and understanding what is happening with these names and how we look at market profile. That is the core calculation function, the algorithm that goes behind everything that we have in our indicators. And just to make this very clear, there is a significant amount of changes happening, but yet not so much. In other words, we are making changes in the way that you install and you actually acquire and you have the authentication for all the indicators. We're adding a whole host of indicators. We've upgraded and tweaked a few things inside the indicators that we've worked on for a very long time. And on top of that, what has not changed is, again, the underlying functionality. So don't be confused by name changes. We'll talk about that a little bit. Don't be confused by a different installation platform and how the authentication works, because we had to do something. As we know, the TradeStation trading app store is closing. Therefore, you have a couple of weeks. You can let it ride out until the end, until they close down the store entirely. Or, in my opinion, you could start thinking about installing the new protocols and therefore getting a lot more indicators with that and bringing yourself up to speed on some of the new things that we've added to the package. Therefore, once the shutdown does occur and you're technically forced to stop using the TriggerCharts indicators that were available through the trading app store, well, now you use the new and improved and expanded package, the bundle, calling it, through our new installation partner. So make a quick and very disclaimer, as you see up top, because investing, as we know, involves substantial risk. Past performance is not indicative of future results. And of course, everything that we talk about today, I want you to consider for educational uses only. This is also the opportunity that you can, in fact, ask questions. I mean, you can always ask questions, right? But here, I'm giving this to you, right? We have a chat room right there available. It should be blinking on the bottom. I just posted something that you can find everything about the indicated packages on TriggerCharts.com. We streamlined that site to make it pretty much a one-page site with a few little things in there. Every link that you will hit, everything that you will press on will take you to the indicators. And the fact of the matter is that when we look at what is going on with regard to the breadth of all of the indicators, what we have is that we have a substantial amount of additions. Now, what do we have? Well, for example, we have the trading, let's see if I can do this. I'm just gonna bring something up for you in a second. Just bear with me. Just hold on, because I think you're gonna like this. Let's see if I can do this. It's gonna come in a second. Here. So we have this available on all sorts of sites, right? You have this on TradeStation, as you know. We have this available on Trade Ninja. We have it on Seek Signal. And somebody just asked me about what about them available on TradingView. So, well, that's important. Let's see. I want to see something. Let's see here. Look, surprise. TradingView. Big announcement coming on this, but basically here you are looking at not all the indicators, but some of the indicators. And you can look at SPY. We'll just pull that up. What are we looking at here? We're looking at, let's look at year to date on SPY. And right now we're looking at SPY. You can do all things that we did before. We have a 1-day chart that's going on right here, right? We can change this to, I don't know, when you want to change it to 45 minutes. You want to change this to 1 hour. You can make this bigger. You can make this and go up and down. You can slide it all around, right? You know, everything that you could do before, you could do on this as well. And you can just go through your charts and look at what you want to look at on TradingView very, very quickly. So, you know, that's a really interesting thing. Obviously, you can take your charts and move them. You can move your squeeze it, you know, all the things you can do on TradingView, you know, and take a look at all the different indicators, the improved indicators that we have as well. And then do your text or charts, or, you know, put whatever you want on here. You can, you know, look at this during this period. So anyway, TradingView is available. Everybody, they're pretty good, huh? But the basically you could, so the other thing that you could do is, and I'm jumping around a little bit because there's some questions coming in inside the chat I want to hit on. The other thing you could do is you could actually install this on multiple platforms and use it one platform at a time, right? That's important to recognize that if you want to use you want to use TradingView, or you want to use, let's say, Trade Ninja and E-Trade and TradeStation. I don't know why, but if that's what you're doing, well, you can install it and you'll have it used on any platform, one platform concurrently. So if you want to switch around, you can say, okay, I want to open up TradeStation and run it there. I want to open up TradingView, run it there, but only one concurrent application at a time. So just remember that. So yeah, we have it all available. TradingView is still a little bit in the, I would not even say call beta, final testing. That's coming soon, so just stand by. But I will tell you right now, if you used a TradeStation, don't wait for the TradingView necessarily. We're just finishing up some final touches on that, but you just saw we have a lot on there. And again, just looking at this, you see, you know, the availability, pretty cool. Same features, and there's more than you can put on here. This is right now, you can turn things on and off. You could add things. There's a few different other, there's a, like for example here, put that on. There's the PCLs that you can put on. There's a lot more of this package that's available to you as well if you want to utilize them. So lots of really cool things on TradingView, but the good news is that's available that you'll see also on TradeStation, and take your pick. So let me, I want to run through something. I think it's really important, and I know I'm harping on this, but I've gotten some questions in the email that I think we really need to address, and that is, hey, wait, I went over to TriggerCharts.com and I saw the things and they look kind of the same, but then I click on it and I don't see it. Well, the new distribution platform that you have, and you have to use the codes to get the very special discounts that we have available. So please do me a favor. If you are going to install these, don't somehow figure out a way to click something somewhere else. You're not going to get the same pricing. Go over to TriggerCharts, click on the link, and then check out all that's on there, right? If you click on any link on TriggerCharts, any link at all, what you're going to do is you're going to come right to the installation page. You can choose your package. You can download. Now, what I want to show you, though, is some of the things here, right? What are we talking about? Well, I'm going to focus primarily on what you know first. You know what radar is, right? We know what radar is. We know what altimeter is, right? Here's your altimeter, right here, right here. Here's your altimeter levels, right? Autopilot, we know what that is, right? We can take a look at that. Let's go over here. Autopilot. They look a little bit different, slightly different, but there's your autopilot coloring. We know what that is. Okay, great. So we know what also aileron is, right? We've seen that, right? We talk about that. Aileron looks a little bit different right now. So let's just bring this back on TradingView so you can see this right now. Here's your aileron on the bottom. It's now called Navigator, okay? So there are differences in the names. Why? Why are there differences? Well, when we teamed up with Candid Commodities and we worked on the distribution of these indicators, we said, you know what? We have the same core logic that we utilized in developing these. Why not just package these up together so there's no confusion in the future about this? So right now you're gonna have to move beyond the idea that, okay, I know what this is. I'm just gonna have to get in my head. When I think of altimeter, I think of boxes. When I think of radar, I think of market map. When I think of autopilot, I think of Vega. When I think of aileron, I think of Navigator, okay? There's some new ones too. There's the task ratio. There's the float price comparison, the PCLs. There's the static price comparison. I showed you that a second ago on the trading view, right? You're going to have 7 indicators available. You also have the Trade Nest, which is an online trading community where you can actually go and you can share ideas on a regular basis. So now not only do you have to wait for Friday, you don't have to wait for Fridays anymore just to get the insights and information, but you can get this inside of the new market profile bundle. So all of that comes for $147 per month. It was $149 before, remember that? And you only got 4 or 5 of these things. Now you're getting the core. You're also getting Aileron or Navigator thrown in for free. You get the ratio, PCLs. Look at all the things you get here. You're getting all these. So you're getting a probably close to $297 package, a bundle. And then on top of it, you're also getting the access to trading rooms and chat rooms for less money. Now, I'm going to share this with you. I want you to pay attention real quickly on this. I know we're a lot of times doing different things in the morning, but I want to make sure you know you cannot just get one indicator. Nope, there is no one indicator program available anymore in these packages. It'll cost you more money anyway on that, and that's a good question that came through. That can we just buy one indicator? I don't know which one indicator you'd want. I don't know, maybe boxes, altimeter. Maybe this would be the one right here. Maybe the one you want here. I got to tell you, the power of utilizing all the rest is great. I mean, listen, I think before we sold the altimeter for I think it was $79. I think it was $79 or so a month. I don't remember exactly, but I thought it was $79. Anyway, you're getting this for $149. And think about all the things you're getting. If nothing else, the extra Trade Nest right there, and on top of that, you're getting, which I think is really important, you're getting the market map, which is a much more refined look, right? You look at here, here's our refined look, and you can see exactly right in the middle where the real high volume node is in between your altimeter, or as we call it, boxes. So right there, that market map that you're seeing gives you a really good idea of where we are, and gives you a much better view of exactly where those lines in the sand are, and where you can actually say, you know what, this is the level that traders are coming in with significant volume right there. So instead of just 3 lines, you have 20 lines. It's actually 100, but depending on how you want to look at those, you could change those around a little bit to see how much refinement you want inside of there. So that's a really good question, but no, you can't. So here's the point. The point is that you will have a different process. Right now, what you did with TradeStation is you went to the trading app store. You said, yes, I want to do either a trial or I want to get this. You're beyond that. You click the button. You go over to TradeStation. It downloads. In the background, you install. There's a workspace. There's all that. Now, the difference is this is much more, a lot more indicators, but basically one package per particular protocol, right? One package per platform that you're going to download. What we have is we install a small little authentication package inside of your system, and it just like TradeStation did, but it looked differently. And what happens is it says, okay, well, are you a user? Are you, a paying customer? And if it says yes, well, all your stuff will light up all the time, whether you're on Trade Ninja, eSignal, whether you're on TradeStation, etc. And what happens is that you then will install and have use of all the indicators, utilizing them anywhere you want on any particular workspace. There's an installation process, follow the bouncing ball. There's a lot of FAQs, a lot of help files, a lot of videos, a lot of install help, and the customer support. By the way, we've also expanded the customer support. There's a lot more support going on with this new partnership. So this is really cool. Now, mind you, we all hate change. I hate change. We don't like it. It's messy. It's complicated. It's confusing. Who needs to change something? If it works, what's the point? Why are we changing? Well, we know TradeStation is forcing us to make a change. And you know what? At first, I was worried. I'm like, oh, how are we going to do this? And then I realized that with this particular relationship, this partnership that we have with Steve over at Candid Commodities, and allowing for us to essentially merge what we're doing with what they were doing, because again, we have the same indicators. We could do a lot more for all of our people together than we could separately. And I'm really excited about this. I really am. I think this is awesome. But yet we all hate change. And I get it. And sometimes we hate the fact that, I got to go through this process. It's not so hard once you get it done. And if you have any problems, I'm telling you right now, the customer support lines, the email systems will help you, and the FAQs and the videos and the training guides, all the stuff that's available. All you have to do is ask. Very easy, all over there to find customer support once you get there. Now, we are continuing to teach and educate and provide you insights on a regular basis. But I want to be very clear again, and I know I'm hammering this home, is because it's the 16th of the month. We got exactly 2 weeks until this is all shut down on TradeStation. And I have this fear that if you wait to the end, because a lot of us like to procrastinate, hello, I get it. What's going to happen is you're going to be in a panic to try to install this at the last second. I really hope you don't go through that and go through that pain. It's just not worth it. There's so many profit opportunities in this market right now. Yes, it's down. Well, there's profit opportunities there. But the fact is, if we understand and utilize all of the various functions to our best, then therefore we are having the opportunities presented to us versus sitting in the stands. The other thing about TradingView I want to bring back for a second, I'll bring this back up for a second here. Like I said, if you get it for TradeStation right now, you'll have access to TradingView when it comes out. So, you can install and learn on this, what's happening. For example, let's turn this back on and look at the PCLs and understand. Let's turn a few things off here. Let's turn this off. So now you have these PCLs, right? Let's expand this right here. Let's bring this over. You have these PCLs that give you ranges inside of the market. Again, all developed through Market Profile, right? You have all these ranges that you can utilize to understand where the potential lines in the sand are. And this gives you even more on top of the fact that you have the market map, and you have the boxes, again, radar / altimeter, and all that's embedded in here. So giving you the opportunity. This is the same as you'll see, for example, on TradeStation or eSignal. So again, really important to recognize, hammering this point home for the last time, once you have access to the platforms, to the Market Profile bundle, you can use it on any platform of your choice, one concurrent user at a time. So in other words, you can't have it open in eSignal and TradeStation at the same time, one or the other. But you can just turn them on and off, right? If you want to. Again, I don't know why you're doing that, but you can. So you can, again, start to learn all about that. There is lots to learn, lots to understand. I do believe that you're going to be really happy with this. It's going to take some time to do an internal translations like Spanish to English. Hello, hola, goodbye, adios, altimeter, boxes, radar, market map, autopilot, Vega, aileron, navigator. So those are going to take some time for you to get used to. Call it what you want. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about what's going on in the markets. Oh, first of all, any questions? This is your opportunity. Any questions at all? Anything remote? Anything obscure? Anything like, I don't know, whatever it is. Ask your question. I'm going to put a little jab over there in the chat. Put it in there. We have plenty of people on there. I know that I've talked about this. You're going to get some more emails from me. Some more training is going to come. There'll be some videos that you'll be seeing in the next couple of weeks if you're on our mailing list already. So we'll make sure to get that out to you. But rest assured that we put a lot of time in there. There's going to be a little bit of pain with the transition probably because it's just what it is. Again, it's just new. And it's something you have to learn. But once you get it, you've been on this horse. You know what exactly is going on here. You'll figure it out very easily. I have faith in you. All right, let's take a look in the few minutes that we have left at a few different things. And I want to I want to talk about some of the stories of the day. So what's happening? Right now, we have a real interesting situation that brewed over last week. Of course, we saw that markets melted down. We saw the trend over the last, and we're going to clean up this chart a little bit and just keep it very fresh. Just want to keep it just like that. I want to show you the core that's going on with boxes. What you could do is, there is no trial period like TradeStation. No, I'm sorry about that. There is no trial period like TradeStation. If you've already been a user of it, obviously we could do, if you come on and you hate it, you want to cancel, we'll figure something out. But there is no trial period like TradeStation. No, these are tried and true already. These are things that we have so much out there on. So, with 7 different indicators, it's very difficult to do that. But let's look at FedEx. Let's look at the markets. Let's look at the trend. Let's look at what's happening. Now, we know what we saw over the last week was a very difficult situation when we had the CPI number, the inflation number come out earlier this week. Then we saw PPI come out this week. And then we have retail sales and all that. We still see a lot of strength in the underlying economy. There is no doubting that. The problem is we have to ask, is that good or is that bad? The problem that we have right now with the economy is that there is a significant amount of I would say fortitude in the consumer and in the economy and underlying what's going on. And that is causing problems because it is in direct, I would say, opposition of what is going on with the Fed. The Fed is trying to slow down the economy. And everybody's saying, the hell with that. Let the party continue. And the problem is the Fed is going to try harder and harder. That's why right now in the probability spectrum of where Fed fund rates are going to be, the futures for what is going to happen next week, there's about a 75% probability of a 0.75%, 0.75% rate hike next week. It's on Wednesday. However, what's really more interesting, and what I think has markets spooked pretty well, is that there's a 25% chance of a 1% rate hike. That is freaking markets out. And as we get more information that shows us that things aren't really slowing down to a point that the Fed may be saying, well, it's enough, markets are going to continue to reprice. And then on top of that, when you get information like what we saw last night from FedEx, which is now down 21%, FedEx down 21%, this chart on the right, this daily chart, has to be extended. Because the stock is now trading not here, but about there. That's where FedEx is going to open after a long consolidation period. FedEx came out with some very difficult to absorb numbers on their prospective earnings and a guidance that was really ugly. They pulled forward guidance. They did say that they are expecting to experience a global recession and how there has been a significant amount of slowing during the latter part of this quarter. And that is in direct, I would say, opposition to what we're seeing in other areas. Well, I would say opposition. It's not what people were expecting. They expected that things did slow, but leveled off a little bit. The inflation numbers would have stopped people, but we didn't see a lot of that happening. Retail sales were still good. Inventory to sales ratios still not looking terrible. Housing prices not off that much. Stock market off, yes. COVID-related issues in China being a big problem, of course. The dollar hitting, 30, 40-year highs against the pound, and the euro dropping, the energy crisis, all the things lined up together. There wasn't a significant amount of concern by a lot of investors until we started seeing these earning revisions. And this down almost 22% pre-market FedEx for a bellwether. We had Federal Reserve chairman that would look at what was going on with FedEx to understand more about the global economy. And as we are seeing the commentary from the CEO last night of FedEx saying, you know what, things suck. That's what he said, basically, right? I'm paraphrasing. Bring all his commentary together. Things suck. That is causing a ripple effect in markets because nobody expected that much of a drawdown. You're talking about $5.50 to $3 and $3.50 in earnings. That is a big break in where FedEx, a bellwether. Now, a lot of that could be due to some fuel pricing, but they were not really talking about that, not complaining about the fuel pricing, that they may have actually done some work to hedge out. What they were talking about was the actual spend by customers on transporting things around the world. That's a bigger problem. That's why we're seeing this break today. Dow Jones futures down 366, 370. The S&P down 1.3%. And the NASDAQ careening down again for another day, down 180 after Adobe yesterday spent the mother load, the absolute mother load. Look at this chart. Adobe from what do we got here? 690.85 to 305 yesterday, down, trading down another 3% today, down at 299, under 300, clipping Adobe by over 50%. Yesterday's move was very significant after they decided to spend $20 billion, not due to potentially having an accretive transaction, whereas it was good for their bottom line, but in a defensive move because they were concerned that Figma was stealing a lot of their potential opportunity with the growth that they've seen in that platform over the last couple of years. So now we have companies running scared. And what do we have in these kinds of environments where you see that things are changing as rapidly that they are changing? We're seeing that there are companies that are stepping up, like Figma, to make concerted efforts to change how the usual is run. And Adobe picked up on that and said, if they're going to move this fast and start cannibalizing our business as we see they're doing, maybe we need to pick it up. Buying it at a multiple, like a 40 times, 50 times revenue, 50 times revenue. That's why Adobe stock got hammered so bad yesterday. Bitcoin, we saw Bitcoin now trading slightly lower, below the 20,000, but holding on to what I would see as some support right here. Obviously below the 19,000, you got real problems here. I don't see anything really significant below here. You got a double line here. Let's take this down. Let's change this up. Let's go to the support lines. Right below, right there, 19.1. I'll call it 19,000. You see the little nubs on the bottom there, right? Where we have right there on the bottom. Let's make it look a little bit better. I would say that 19,000 is your line in the sand. 19.7 right now. You could see some flushing going on with this, and this is a lot to do with the U.S. dollar that's going on. One of the things that's really did I get that right? Yeah. The VIX trading up about 5. It's only at 27 today. I would have expected the VIX to be really skyrocketing closer in the 30s again. VIX acting very odd, really dropping more than it's picking up. Listen, today is an option expiration day. There could be something coming in there. VIX didn't want to get above like 27. It just wouldn't do it. Look at that, 27 and a half or so. It wouldn't get above 28, I guess, is the point. Point, though, is that there is something weird going on with the VIX, and trying to play the VIX right now is a little bit difficult, very difficult to play it in the ETF space. This is up 3% today, but, just picking up a little bit. This is the VXX. We saw this roll down of the markets, and it still hasn't picked up. I mean, it's terrible. This is a broken instrument. I think this one, too, is this one? Yeah, UVIXI also have broken instruments. So try to stay away from some of these oddball ETFs that are out there that have this. So one thing I will note, let's see, is what I want to hear. This is an internal line. We really have a lot more work to do to get that back to oversold on the McClellan. Same thing on the Spearman. So it's something to kind of look at, that maybe we're not quite there yet. So with that in mind, make sure to go over to TriggerCharts.com. Click on it, check out what's there. Click on the box or the link, I should say, that learn more about any of it. It will take you right to the page where you can see more information and actually utilize the installation tools, and go to the checkout and do everything you need to do to install the updated market profile bundle that we talked about. Remember, the names have changed. But the internals are pretty much, well, we did a couple of upgrades. We did a few things that we always do over time. So a couple little changes here and there. You have to get used to the way aileron looks. There's some other components to it that give you further insight
of beyond just the trends. So check that all out. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to do that. Any questions, write us at info@triggercharts.com or support@triggercharts.com. Have a great weekend. I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much.